Okay, some of you are reading the book, Is That a Fish? Is That a Fish? So, if I were to ask you, what do you think this book will be about? You could say, yes, it's going to be about fish. But since it's a question, and it's asking, is that a fish? The answer could be yes, it's a fish, or no, it's not a fish. I think we'll be looking at things where we're not quite sure whether they're fish or not fish. So we'll have questions. Is that really a fish? So we'll have to do some research and find out, yes, it doesn't look like a fish, but yes, it is a fish. Or no, it might look like a fish, but no, it's not a fish. Okay. Again, we have a table of contents, the front page, and it gives you different topics and page numbers. So if I want to find out our kinds of snakes, fishes, I might want to turn to page 9. And then again, nonfiction books, and this is a nonfiction book, it doesn't have a story, and we read it to learn something. There's a glossary in the back. And again, a glossary is a mini dictionary that we can read to get information. And then there's also an index that gives you different topics and pages where you can find that information. The glossary and the index are always in the back of the book. The table of contents is in the front of the book, and it tells you what pages you can find the information. Okay? These are things that you might be tested on soon. Different parts of a nonfiction book and how to find information in a nonfiction book. It's a skill that you need in high school. All right. The other thing I've noticed here is I'm looking at these pictures here, and I notice that they have letters A, B, and then it's funny, I don't see it goes to E, F. C is on the next page, D. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but there must be a reason. We can find out. The other thing is, I thought maybe when we're going through this, it might tell you about each letter. Right? We need to be book detectives when we're reading and ask ourselves questions about these sorts of things. Why are there letters? Oh, maybe they're going to talk about them in here. But no, it doesn't look like it's labeled that way when we go through here. There must be some sort of reason. Right here, if you look at it, it says, maybe I can zoom it in. It says pages 4 and 5. So look, it's got A, this picture here, and if we go back, it says A is a leafy sea dragon. Okay. B, what's B? B is a cow-nose ray. Okay. Another thing that readers need to be able to use is use the diagrams and pictures found in nonfiction books. You need to have a sort of visual literacy to be able to understand the information that's included in diagrams and pictures. Your textbooks in high school will have many diagrams and pictures that you will need to look at and think about to be able to use that information to answer questions. Okay, so let's start reading. For a title, what are fish? What does a fish look like? You might be surprised. I'm thinking it's not going to be what I think because I'm going to be surprised. Fish can be very big or very small. This shark is the largest fish in the world. Wow, did you know a shark is a fish? Like other fish, it has a backbone. It breathes through gills, and it has fins to help it swim. You know what that's telling me, boys and girls, is that all fish have backbones, gills, and fins, because it says like other fish. A horse or a fish? Is it trying to talk about a horse? I know what a horse is. A horse is not a fish. A horse, yay, gallops around on a farm. Why would it be like a fish? I don't know. Because some fish look like other animals. This fish is called a seahorse. Here it is right here. It does kind of look like a horse. The fin is on the back of the seahorse, and it beats very fast. This is how the seahorse moves around. Okay. Here's the backbone, and it's got a fin, and it's labeled tails. Look at how it's labeled, just like I ask you to label your diagrams. A seahorse uses its tail to grab onto plants in the water. It can hide in the plants where no hungry fish can find it. A snake or a fish. This fish, called an eel, looks a lot like a snake. It swims by moving its whole body. It can swim forward and backward. It breathes by opening and closing its mouth to pump water over its gills. Rays. This large, flat fish is called a ray. It has wing-like fins that help it glide through the water. Glide, kind of like an airplane or a bird. Some rays have spines on their tails. They use the spines to sting their prey. Rays can hide on the bottom of the sea. Here's one. It says, rays bury themselves in sand. So I know this is sand that's hiding in the bottom. This fish lives on mud flats. When the tide goes out, the fish can stand on the land until the water comes back. It breathes through its skin. It's called a mud skipper. This fish sometimes comes on the land to look for fresh water. It wiggles its tail and props its body up on its fins when it moves. This makes it look like the fish can walk. Is that a fish? Fish can be many colors, sizes, and shapes, and they can move in different ways. The next time you see but that's a thing that readers do. So I was reading along there, and what I was saying didn't make any sense. So I knew I had to stop and go back to the beginning, and not just keep going, because the reason why we read is to make sense so that we can understand what we're reading. Okay? Good readers can say, let's stop. What I'm saying doesn't make any sense. It's called self-monitoring. Go back to the beginning. Okay, so let's try it again. What will you see the next time you close your eyes and picture a fish? Maybe you want to close your eyes and think about all the different fish. So here's that glossary. It's that mini dictionary found in the back of the book. It gives you the word that's highlighted, it's bolded, I should say, in black, and it gives you the page number. And the index, the different kinds of animals that we saw, and the pages you can find them. So again, please practice this book. You always should be practicing reading your books as homework. Again and again and again until your reading is smooth and fluent. The smoother and more fluent your reading is, the better you will be able to think about what the text means that you're reading. And that's the most important part. Not just reading to say the words, we're reading to get information that we need. We're reading to understand. We're reading to learn. That's the most important part. Okay, so good luck.